Hello, it's Paul Angus from the UK. Thank you very much for coming to have a look at my video. It was probably the title that made you take a look. And the title should have said, what do you want to be remembered for? It's quite a question, isn't it? And that's what it is. That's what the first thing I really want to ask you. What is it you want to be remembered for? Because a lot of people have worked hard all their lives. They've absolutely worked hours and hours and hours. These days they're working more hours than they ever did before just to keep the job. And they're really sacrificing a lot. Not only their health, but they're sacrificing family time and memories. Because that's what life should be about, shouldn't it? About memories, creating some memories at any age, not just when you're young, especially when you get older like myself. And then people like myself, that I've just recently retired in March, I'm that retirement age now, and I can certainly assure you that the finances that you're asked to live on in retirement are far less than what we used to earn in a job. So you get used to living on that set income when you had a job or you had a business. And then you work all those hours, all those weeks, and 40 hours for 40 years to really survive on 40% less than you've been struggling on over the last few years. So people like myself and all ages, especially with the current crisis at the moment, with the way that the cost of living is going up, it's just gone absolutely berserk, hasn't it? And everyone's going to really notice it at the end of this month. We're in April now, just about to go into May. But because of all the prices have gone up with everything, that's when it really hits you, when you get paid at the end of the month if you've still got a job. And there's even more of that money going to go out just to stand still. So lots of people are looking to make an additional income. They really have no choice. There's nowhere else they can go. There's nothing else. There's no other benefits for most people that they can actually get to increase that income a little bit, even by 100 or 200. I was watching a documentary a couple of days ago, and it was a USA documentary, and they're really struggling at the moment. They call it the land of the opportunity. That was a long time ago, and they focused on about 5 cities, and every single one was tent city. There were literally people living in tents in the streets, and there was rows and lines of them, and that was even in Los Angeles. And everyone associates Los Angeles with money and glamour. But it isn't always. There's always a different side of the town, isn't there? And that's how it is for everywhere. It doesn't matter what country you live in. There's always a different side of town. There's a rich side and a poor side. And the question that most people want to really sort of say, how do I get to the other side? And the simple answer is you have to do something else. And there's a term that's used sometimes, you've got to get a side hustle. I don't like that term, side hustle, because hustle sounds like you're conning people. And more often than not, people are. So I would prefer to say what my mentor Jim Rohn used to say to me: we don't need a better job, we need a better income. And I've recently found that better income, and we're sharing that idea with a few people. But there's 2 types of people in the world I've found, and they're friends. And there are friends for a season, and there are some friends for a reason. Let's talk about those friends for a season first. Now, those friends for a season are people, and you probably know who they are, and certain people will come to mind when I talk about this, that try and show you an income opportunity, a business opportunity. And we see loads, and at the moment I'm just seeing more and more of these digital coins, bitcoins, various things. And how many coins have we seen over the last 5 years? It's going to be the next big thing. It's going to be worth a fortune. Get in now. Do you remember when Bitcoin was 9 cents? Yes, we've all heard that story. But even the people that claim to be living on Bitcoin, and it's fluctuating up and down like it always will do, they claim to be living off that. Well, they're only really going to live off that money from their Bitcoin investments if they cash the Bitcoin in. You have to cash it in. You can't, you've got to sell some of it, haven't you? But I've been watching these coins pop up, and then people are talking to me about crypto, and as soon as, especially if you're on Facebook, you get a new friend request, and I think, oh, is this a friend for a season or a friend for a reason? And you soon find out it's another one of those friends for a season. After the small chit chat, they've done nothing to find out anything about you. They don't even look at your profile. Because you know that because they say, oh, where are you from, by the way? Which country? You haven't looked then. And what do you do? And then the next thing is, do you invest? I thought, here we go. Here's another crypto deal. And you quickly put your wallet away. Well, I'm not going to talk about any crypto deals, any coins, anything like that, because they belong to the people that are friends for a season. And we know they are. I call them commission merchants. That's what I've always called them. They're here for a little while. They get you in. They want your money, and all they talk about is just buy in now. Get it. It's only 200. It's only 300. It's only 1,000. They talk about £1,000 or $1,000 as if it's nothing. Well, a few years ago, it probably wasn't. But today, in 2025, 1,000 is a lot, and because people are struggling all over the world. You know, there's still too much month at the end of the money, and people need to find something that's got a structure to it, that's sustainable, that's real, and they can see it and touch it, and work with people that they want to work with. So those people, the friends for a season, some of those become what they call superstars. Well, they thought they were superstars anyway. And they used to come out with fantastic little quips. And I remember certain people that come to my mind, I can still see them now. And they always used to say, oh, you've got to give value. You people aren't giving value. You've got to give value. And thinking, what are they talking about? I mean, what value are you giving me? You're trying to just extract some money from me, and I probably wouldn't see you again. And sure enough, one of the people that said that got me into a business, took the money, never saw him again, never heard from him again. So he wasn't much of a support system. Even if it was just an email once a month, it was never there. So, and I believe he's gone back into the job world. So he was that successful at it, and he was for a few years, and all of a sudden it all collapsed. So all this giving value, and the money's in the list. Do you remember that one? You know, they used to say, oh, the money's in the list. You've got to build a list. Do you think, how do I build a list? You know, and where do I get a list from? Shall I buy a list? And people were buying lists, thinking they were buying people and buying opportunity seekers. That didn't seem to work either. So the friends for a season, you kind of want to avoid, because you just know they're there to make a commission on you, and they're not really there for the long term. Now, what about the second person, the people I like? Friends for a reason. Now, they're there for a reason. And most of the friends I know actually know me. 10 years is actually a minimum, but a lot of people have known me 20, 30, 40, even up to 50 years. And I still speak with some school friends. But we're friends for a reason, because we always keep in touch. We've never cheated each other. And if we're mentioning anything about a business opportunity, we don't go for the juggler and say, you know, just buy in and take a chance. Just take a punt, you know, none of that sort of stuff. We pretend, we don't pretend about anything. We prefer to ignore all that pretense. Let's say, just get in, you're going to make a fortune. You know, get away from that. We prefer to show people what we do. So we often say to people, when asked, people say to us, what do you do? Someone did it to me yesterday. What do you do? I said, I'm in show business. They go, oh, really? What kind? I said, I show people my business. And we both laughed, and they said, what do you do then? Tell me. And they didn't back away. And what we do is network marketing, but we don't do network marketing in its original form. Now, there's another discussion. I've watched some people on Facebook recently having a bit of a debate about, oh, network marketing's dead, it's gone, it's this, it's that, it's had its day. Really? I don't think so. There's absolutely millions of people still making a very good living from network marketing. However, it needed to change. And if you change something, like things around the world have changed. We used to have lots of little corner shops, didn't we? Little local shops that we had. They're going now, which is a shame. I like the corner shop. But what did we get? We got supermarkets. Why? Because everything's under one roof. And then what do we get? We got places out of town. We got, shopping malls and everything else, because it's more convenient. So things progress, things change, and then they do that for financial reasons, to help people save money and make money half the time. So what we're looking at here is a company that is just about to launch in May. We just got some news literally a night or two ago, which was rather nice. But I was invited in January to join two friends that I've known for 20 to 30 plus years, two dear friends, Shoba and Dennis. And they invited me into something called the Shining Stars Pay It Forward system. And as soon as they said that, I said, I quite like the sound of that. I'm intrigued. What is it? I said, we're part of a network marketing company. It's a Canadian-based company. However, we're doing a different way of marketing. So we're not going to interfere with the company's marketing structure. It's very, very good. However, we've created a better one. And when I looked at that in January the 6th, it certainly was a much better one. So people previously that have shied away from network marketing or home-based business are not shying away when they come and take a look at what we've got to offer, because it's totally different. The reason they didn't like network marketing is because they thought they had to recruit people. Well, they've never done that. So therefore, how could they be good at it? And even those that did do it weren't very good at it. They may have attracted 2 or 3, maybe 4 friends, certainly not a lot of friends. People say, oh, I don't do that sort of thing. Well, what sort of thing? Well, we don't do those. And silly little comments like that. And it's just, if you break those 2 words up, networking, which is, if you look at networking, you've got networking business clubs, you've got TV networks, you've got radio networks. It just means something large. And what does marketing mean? It just means showing you how they do their business. And it's a marketing structure. So it's been going 60 years now, by the way. So, and it's still here when many jobs are not. And that's something to consider. A lot of people think they've got a safe job. They might have for a little bit of time, but everything is changing and everything is downsizing. And yet the home-based business is still growing and growing and growing. And if you can work that home-based business in the hours that suit you, to the level that you want to get to, you become recession-proof. Isn't that something to think about? Because the way that the cost of living is going, how do you make yourself recession-proof? And the answer is, get a friend who's here for a reason, not a friend who's here for a season. So many of you may have been asked to take a look at the Shining Stars Pay It Forward community. So we are a community. That's how we work as a community. What does community mean to most people? It means something, especially from the old days. It means that people care and look out for each other. Yes, isn't that a nice, refreshing change? And that's exactly what we do in the Shining Stars. So we're not looking for superstars. We're looking for shining stars, people who care, people who want to do something. So when I asked you the first question, what do you want to be remembered for? Do you want to be remembered for one of those people who just grab people in, you made the money, but they never did? Do you want to be recognised for that? Do you want to be recognised for someone that worked all their life and ended up with nothing? Do you want to be remembered for someone who tried and had a go at something, or someone that never tried? What is it you want to be remembered for? We all want to be remembered for something. We all want our children to be proud of us, don't we? But if you can get involved in something where you are going to be remembered for what you did and how you contributed, wouldn't that be something? And that's why we say to people, we're friends for a reason, not friends for a season. So we say to people, come and take a look. And they say, is your business free? No, it's not a free business. Some people think it is, but it isn't. Coming into the Shining Stars is not a free business. There are 2 options, and we say there's 2 lists. List 1, which means you're self-funding, you're going to pay for yourself, as we did, and it's a one-time $145. It's around about £115. And then there's list 2, and that's a pay it forward list. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means if you're really financially in a bad way, and we have people in lots of countries that are really struggling financially in those countries, they don't make more than $200 or $300 a month. They couldn't come up with $145, so they would need to go on to the pay it forward list. And that simply means that somebody in our community is going to pay that $145 out of their profit to help that person get started, because they want to get into business, but they're just not able to at that moment in time. They don't have the funds. Why leave that person out when that person wants to get somewhere? Wouldn't it be nice to help that person? That's what happens in a community. Doesn't always happen in business. Business is very dog eat dog, isn't it? Well, not in the Shining Stars Pay It Forward community, isn't. So we don't offer a free business. So if anyone tells you it's free, it's not. Common sense would tell you that. Think about it. I've often said to people, do you know what? I found free to be the most expensive thing. And they go, what do you mean? How can you possibly make money out of free? There's no money there. You can't make a commission. It's not rocket science. But if someone's paying it forward for you, and they are purchasing your ambassadorship in the company. You're going to come into our company, you're going to get registered, and then our community is going to put 2 people in your business, in your community for you. That's what people didn't like about network marketing. Do you remember? They said, we can't recruit, we don't want to sell, we don't know how to build teams. I have to hand out my link. Well, guess what? In our Shining Stars Pay It Forward community, we don't even hand our links out. We ask people, please don't hand your link out. Why? Because you'll give it into the community. Shobha created this community. She's actually created the absolute change in network marketing. So what she's created here will change the face of network marketing without a question. We've already done it in a handful of months. Because if you look at network marketing, if you look at the companies, if you're involved in those, let's say you've been in it 6 months. How many people within 6 months have got to a 6-figure annual income? Now, you know what 6 figures are. It's 100,000, right? Whether it's dollars or pounds. How many of those people in your business, and I'm including you here, have got to 6 figures annual income, paid monthly, paid daily, paid weekly, however they're going to pay, within 6 months? How many? The answer is not many, if any, because it normally takes you 2 to 5 years. But by doing it our way, by having friends for a reason, and by them joining the Shining Stars Pay It Forward community, where everything is different, we actually put people in your community for you, and we build that. And so far, just since November, there's well over 30 people around the world, some are in the UK, myself included, that have actually got to that 6-figure annual income status with the company, and it hasn't even launched yet. Imagine that. It launches in May. So when it does launch, we won't be starting with $100 or $200. We'll be starting with a very nice, a lot of us for 6-figure incomes, a lot of people will be starting a lot lower, but it won't be $100 or $200, that's for sure, because we found a way to help you build your business in a much better way without you having to recruit, sell, build teams. And if you are strapped for money, a lot of people are, you don't even have to pay. Someone in the community is going to pay it for you, and they won't even ask you to pay that money back. We have a very special system, and you'll find out how special that system is if you come and join us. But in that short time that we built that we come along and built that, I joined in January. And I wanted to test the system, so I didn't go out and speak to all my friends like I normally do, because I've been doing this kind of home-based business for 45 years. So I know a lot of people, and a lot of them are good friends. But I didn't want to approach them straight away, because I wanted to prove that the change in the system is going to work. That's going to make the difference, and sure enough, it did. So if you could come into a company, an organisation like ours, and in the first 90 days, get yourself a 6-figure annual income, would you come and take a look? Most people say, absolutely. Do you have to part with any money now? No, there's no money. Even if someone joined today, someone showed you this video tomorrow, there's no money for you to pay today, but we would ask you, if you like the look of this, and we encourage you to come and take a look first. Don't spend any money. Come and see what we're doing. Come and look we have a private platform. Come and look at that. Come and look at our website. Look at a couple of videos. I've made 3 videos so far, which explain exactly how the system works. But I thought I'd make this one, because when you ask people what do they want to be remembered for, it does make a huge difference. Well, I want to be remembered for doing something worthwhile, something tangible. And it's not always about the money, is it? Money is very important, especially when you don't have it. It becomes incredibly important. But when you do have it, and we've got over 30 people so far that are already on 6 figures, and other people that are on half that. Even half that is a lot of money, isn't it? 5,000. Income disclaimer here. Any figures I quote are purely for training purposes. They're just a guide. What you'll make from this is what you help build with this. It's a community. We all work together. And it's quite strange how the first people I got in, I asked to take a look at this, that got involved, I only showed it to 5 people actually. And those 5 people I picked because they don't like to recruit. And I thought, well, they won't do much. And some of them went off and got 5 and 8 and 10 people. And they'd never done that before in networking. When they went to build a networking business, they didn't do that. They never got more than 2 or 3 people in. But because this is a community and it has a pay it forward element to it, they want to help. They actually said, we've got a purpose now. This just isn't a business where you're going to make some extra money. This is a business with a purpose. We're actually going to change the lives and the finances of people all over the world. Said we absolutely are. We're never going to run out of people. Now, one of those people, one of my friends for a reason, was a man called David in Papua New Guinea, a very poor country to a degree. They don't make more than $200 or $300 a month. Now, David has brought in something like 160 people. Look at that, and he doesn't have to recruit. Yet he's shown this to people and he's invited them to come and share and have a look at this. They've looked at this and said, we really want to be involved in this. So if you're involved in network marketing, have you introduced 160 people? Is there anybody in your business that's introduced 160 people in a business where you don't have to recruit? Isn't that amazing? But the thing about people that don't want to recruit anybody, they know other people who don't want to recruit. And they're friends. They're friends for a reason. They're not friends for a season. So they don't want to leave them behind. And we have a great motto in the Shining Stars Pay It Forward community. And that motto isn't NFL, no friends left. It's actually NFLB, no families left behind. Because this is changing families all over the world. And I'll touch on that in a second. And then we've got Ivan. Ivan's from the USA. Ivan only recently come on board, and yet he sent me an email today and just said, look, I've just got going. I was a little bit disappointed last week. I only got about 30-something people involved so far. And I said, that's amazing, Ivan. 30 people is a lot of people. Because we have a system where we pay it forward. So, and we all agree that when the finances are there, and they're there pretty quick, the way we work, every single person, whether they're funded or they're pay it forward, is going to pay it forward for 10 people. So if Ivan said, well, I've got 30 people on board, well, they're all, every single one of those is going to pay it forward for 10 people who can't pay. So you've got a lot of people there, haven't you? Ivan come back this morning and said, it's now 126. 126 paying it forward for 10 people is 1,260, isn't it? That's just one individual. And then there's Paul T in the UK. Paul T come on board very, very recently. I'm sure he's actually in excess of 70 people now. Isn't that quite staggering? So Shoba, Dennis, myself, and my friend Coleman. I got Coleman on board very quickly, probably by about the end of January. And Coleman's been brilliant creating systems for us. He's produced our website that you're probably going to have a look at in a minute. It's the description is the link is below in the description box. But if you go to shiningstarscommunity.com, you'll see our website. You'll get to see what we're doing, how we're doing it, and that's when we say we want to show you. We're in show business. Come and take a look. Don't spend any money. Just come and take a look. If you think it's something that you would like and you'd like to be involved in because you want to help people, we want you. We want people that want to help. We don't want superstars. Please stay away. No commission merchants required here, and we know who they are. We've actually got certain people we said never they're going to come into this business because they'd ruin it. But they haven't got the spirit to actually help people. They just want to get rich. And there's a lot of money involved in this business, but it's, you'll find there's a lot more reward in that's being done already with this business. We've got lovely comments from people all over the world saying, thank you so much for putting this. This is actually going to change my family, and it has done already. So when we looked at the pay it forward since November, when Shoba and Dennis got started, and then I come on board in January, and then Coleman come on board, the four of us have tried our best to make it easy for people to get them started. So we produced some systems. Coleman's amazing on that. And we now have in excess of there's now over 2,000 people just in our community. That's not in the company. They've got in excess of 100,000 already before launch. But just in our community, there's over 2,000 people that have come to take a look without any pushing and shoving at all, which is really nice. But in the pay it forward section, as of yesterday, there were 1,280 people on our pay it forward list, which has gone into Shoba's special back office system that she created. So everyone is placed There's no spillover. We're not looking at spillover. Every single person that comes into our business, whether you're actually self-funding, and we do ask, if you're able to fund, please fund yourself. Because if you want to sit on the fence and say, well, let someone else pay for me, you're really taking someone in need's position. And we hope you wouldn't do that. I'm sure you're of the caliber that you wouldn't want to do that. So £115, $145 one time only isn't probably going to kill you, but it would make a big difference, because the people that are paying to get started are going to be the very first to earn money throughout May. And then as soon as we've earned money, we're using some of our money through the generosity of all the members in the Shining Stars Pay It Forward community. They're actually paying it forward for those 1,280 people that want to get started. So that's why we said we're leaving no families behind. That in money terms comes to $178,180 that we are spending of our money to help other people get started. I don't know of any other business that's doing that. I don't know of any other network marketing company that's going to do that at all. But we're doing it. And you can look at all the governments around the world. Nothing is going to change for your finances with what the government are doing. It's got to be down to people. It's got to be down to us. It's got to be down to your friends. So now it's time, really, to speak to your friends. And if you're friends for a reason, not a friends for a season, they'd be happy to listen to you. Because when I go back to what do you want to be remembered for, you will be remembered not for the money. We will be making six figures and lots more. But we will not be remembered for the money that we made, but we will be remembered for what we did with that money that we made. We helped other people. We paid it forward for them. And we never ask a single one of those to pay it back. Someone said to me, but if you're going to pay it forward for me, or somebody is, surely I've got to pay that back. I said, no, you're just one of their 10. Now, you look at a network marketing business. If you get 3 or 4 in this week, are they going to get 1, 2, 3 or 4? Probably not. If you look at how our community works, everyone comes into our community, pledges that once we've helped them make money, because we do that quite quickly, because we're placing people every single day that's coming on board. There are a lot of people like Paul T, Ivan, David in Papua New Guinea. There's lots of them. My friend Mel and Andy. There's just so many that are bringing in people all the time. Lots of people all the time. And in so many different countries now. It's lovely to see when they come into our private community where they're coming from. We're in, I don't know, our community is in well over 20 countries. And that's just since November. So when you're looking at a home-based business, you can look at it with apprehension, because you'll say, yes, I need some extra income because my job doesn't pay enough. Life is taken over. How long is this going to take? Is it going to take 6 to 12 months? No, it isn't. I know for a fact, because I did it, and I did it by testing it, not by getting my list out. But if I can get from 0 to 6 figures a year in 8 weeks, a lot of people are doing it in 8 weeks. They're doing it in 60 to 90 days. Wouldn't you give yourself 90 days to come and take a look at the Shining Stars Pay It Forward community, see what we're doing, see how we're doing it, and be proud of something that you're involved in, because you're actually helping someone earn an income. And it's, by the way, we've got 3 incomes with this company. With this Canadian company, we get paid daily, and we're really looking forward to that. We get paid monthly on another system, and we also get paid from our product, which is a huge shopping mall, which also includes a travel company. So in the future, we won't be paying travel agents and booking online. We'll be going through our own system and saving money there, but we also get money back on that. And in addition to that, we also get a debit card, which several people have got already, but we'll have a company debit card from day one. And I don't hear any companies doing that. A debit card from day one, where your money in your back office, with our own private smart wallet, the money will be put there. You can move it to your debit card and you can go and spend it worldwide. And when you spend your earnings worldwide, every single month you get 1.5% cash back on that card. So the daily money is lovely. The monthly money times 2 is lovely. the money back from people that are in your shopping mall, which are in your community. Everyone in your community is in your shopping mall. All those people you're going to get paid on. And then when you spend it, your income, when you have more to spend than you're paying out, you're going to be able to get 1.5% cash back. So look at the link below, have a look at that. You'll also see my previous video, which was called Show Business to Six Figures. That's got a lot of interest. And if you come into our shiningstarscommunity.com, you'll see, come and have a look at our website. You can see in there, see what's going on, and see whether it's a fit for you. Because if you're a friend for a reason, I'm sure you're definitely a fit for us. So if someone else has shown you this video, please get back to them and have a look. If any of you want to ask me any questions about anything to do with this Shining Stars Pay It Forward community, please email me on incomedriven@gmail.com. That's incomedriven@gmail.com. I thank you very much for your time today. Come and have a listen to what I've got to say. But just think about that before you go to work today or you go to bed tonight. What do you want to be remembered for? Struggling, working hard, trying, and never succeeding. We've actually, with this system, we've turned around the 97% failure rate that's normally associated with network marketing. We've now got a 100% success rate. Every single person that comes into the Shining Stars is having their business built for them by the community, which constantly keeps putting people in the community every single day. So I'm sure you're absolutely going to love it. And I thank you again. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.